In this lesson, we're going to be looking at modeling addition of integers, and this is section 1.4. Problem number 1, 2 plus 4. So positive 2 plus positive 4. So you can see in my picture here, I have 2 positive symbols and 4 more positive symbols. So altogether, I have 6 positives. So my answer is positive 6. Problem 2, negative 2 plus negative 3, so I have 2 negatives and 3 more negatives, so altogether I have 5 negatives. Problem 3 is negative 5 plus negative 1, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives and 1 more negative, so altogether I have 6 negatives. And problem 4, again you can see I have 3 positives plus 4 positives, so altogether I have 7 positives. Problem number 5, negative 2 plus 0. So I have 2 negatives, and then I'm adding nothing to that, so I still just end up with 2 negatives, or negative 2 for my answer. Problem 6 is where these problems start to get a little bit different. Here I have negative 6 plus a positive 2. So now I don't have both of my numbers with the same sign. Up until now I've had either all positives or all negatives. So now I have some positives and some negatives. So you can see I have 6 negatives here on the top row and 2 positives on the bottom row. Now what's going to happen is this negative and positive are going to pair up and cancel each other out and give me 0. This positive and negative are going to pair up and cancel each other out and give me 0. So I have 4 negatives left over, so my answer is negative 4. Problem 7, I have 4 positives plus 1 negative. So this positive and this 1 negative are going to pair up and cancel each other out, and I end up with 3 positives, so my answer is positive 3. Problem number 8, 3 plus negative 5. So I have 3 positives and I have 5 negatives. I'm going to put the negatives on the row right below those, and I'm going to pair up my positives and negatives. So these 3 positives is going to pair up with 3 of my negatives, and I have 2 negatives left over, so my answer is negative 2. Problem number 9, negative 2 plus 5. I have 2 negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positives. So the 2 negatives will pair up with 2 of the positives that cancel out, and I'm left with 3 positives. Problem number 10, negative 3 plus 2. So I have 3 negatives and 2 positives. The 2 positives will pair up with 2 of my negatives and cancel out, so I'm left with 1 negative. Problem 11, negative 6 plus 4. So I have 6 negatives and 4 positives. Those 4 positives will pair up with 4 of my negatives, and I'm left with 2 negatives. Problem 12, negative 2 plus negative 1. So I have 2 negatives and 1 more negative, so altogether I have 3 negatives. Be sure you don't try to put this negative down here and pair up 2 negatives to cancel out. Only a positive and negative will cancel out to 0. Once you do a few of these problems with the pictures, you're going to understand your rules for addition without having to draw the pictures. So for these next few problems, I want you to pause the video and do the problems in any way you want to, and then come back and check your answers. And there are your answers for 13 through 16. Now here's the last 4 problems for you to pause the video and complete on your own, and then come back and check your answers. And there are your answers for 17 through 20. One of the things I want you to notice about these last 2 problems is that we have the same 2 numbers here that we're adding. We're just adding in different order. And that's just to show you that addition of integers is commutative, just like addition of whole numbers.